Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Be Happy and Healthy with Carmen. I've been producing Pilates content and yoga content for you. And this is going to be a beginner level Pilates session. So it's ideal for anyone who has never done Pilates before and just wants to give it a shot. Very little or zero experience is required. All you need is a mat and the will to do it. So what we're going to do is start out with some breathing techniques just to get you warmed up. And then we will get down on our spine and then our hands and knees and do a few exercises that are the basics in Pilates just to get your foundation set. And then you're just going to keep on following this channel and subscribe for more content so you can have consistency in your fitness and your workouts. Sorry about the dogs. They will be appearing in a lot of my videos. So pardon any distractions, and I'll catch you in just a second. Everyone, welcome. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do our Ujjayi breathing, which is a yoga breathing technique. You could sit on your knees if you're comfortable that way in a hero pose. And I incorporate a little bit of yoga with my Pilates sessions and vice versa. So if you're going to sit on your knees, we're going to do an inhale and then 20 puffs of breath for the exhale, keeping your mouth closed for these. And here we go. That was the first round. We're going to gear up for a second round, inhaling and then exhale for 20 breaths to get our fire belly going. Here we go. Good, and as you're doing that, you feel your muscles contracting, expanding and contracting in your ribs and around this core area. So we're working our core, we're getting fired up and ready for our fitness. Next, we're just gonna do a couple of regular breathing techniques. So when we're doing our exercises, there's a lot of inhaling and exhaling to coordinate with your movement. And so we're just gonna do a few of those breathing exercises right now. Here we go. And at your own pace, you're inhaling and pushing out that bad air or good air, whatever air it is. Let's take a seat now and extend both legs for a seated spine stretch. Hands are going to come up. And again, we're coordinating our breathing. So you're going to inhale and exhale and reach for this leg. If you're having trouble reaching the leg, you can support your hands under the knee, or even take a belt to get that extension. So that would be a modification. You can even slightly bend your knees if you need to. That's okay too. So what we're doing here is just getting the feeling of this spine stretch, seated spine stretch, and limbering out these muscles that we may have not used or thought about. So you're just reaching over here, seated spine stretch. If your hip is lifting up, put a blanket or a pillow underneath you so that you can meet the floor a little easier. Then we're going to come up and go down to the other side. Same technique. If you need a slight bend in your knees or you need a belt to reach closer to that leg, or even put your hands underneath the knee to deepen that stretch. Come back up. Let's go down to the center and see how far you can go with your hands. Maybe they come just hovering above the floor, and you are hinging from your waist and from your hips. You're not rolling the spine in this version. We do have some spine rolling exercises, but this is just a straight back. And then we're gonna bring our feet together and do a little butterfly stretch, flap the wings. And as we're sitting here, let's just do some shoulder rolls. So sit in a comfortable seated position, however you want, or in that butterfly stretch. And let's just roll the shoulders up and down. And then reverse it. However you need to reverse it and get your body warmed up. Let's take a position on the mat. you are on your spine here, and typically our spine wants to have that little curve in it. You can see I'm lifted up a little bit and my ribs are lifted up. Now let's see if we can tilt the pelvis. So my pelvis is tilted upward. I'm gonna push down and push my spine down so that I'm more neutral to the floor. There's no gap underneath my back. And then let's practice tilting. So now you're lifting, you're exaggerating the ribs lifted up, and you're pushing your pelvis towards your neck area. Then shift your weight. So you're just shifting and tilting. This is an exaggerated movement. So you could just see slightly how I'm creating an arch under my spine, and then I'm pressing away from that. So there you go. And that's your pelvic tilt exercise. We will come back to that in just a second. We're going to flip back over onto our hands and knees now. Coming onto your all fours. Now we are in a cat-cow position. We're going to coordinate the exhaling and the inhaling with our body movements. So the inhale is the belly is dipping low, and then the exhale, you're pushing your spine up. So let's inhale, and then we're going to exhale and lift up. Inhale. Now you're arching the spine, and then exhale. Inhale, rolling your body forward like a cat, and then exhale. And one more, inhale. And exhale, lifting up, tuck your chin to your chest. And then you're gonna come back down and shake out your tailbone. And that is your very basic cat-cow. It is done in a lot of yoga poses and exercises. That movement, that same spinal rolling and movement. And then I'm just shifting him over so you can see. And we're gonna come down to our spine again, and we're gonna do single leg stretches. So roll down onto your spine. This is a very gentle exercise. You're in a neutral spine position. So if your back wants to curve up, remember the pelvic tilt, tilt your pelvis down so that you're not arching towards the sky. So push your pelvis down, you're flat in a neutral position. You're gonna bring your right knee to your chest, hold it. The left knee is either on the floor, or the left leg is either on the floor or it's lifted up. So you take whichever works for you. And if you don't want your head lifted, keep your head on the mat. So all we're doing is we're gonna take our time and we're gonna switch the legs out. So bring the right knee and then switch for the left knee. And again, your head can be resting on the mat. This is going to activate the core that we use in all of these Pilates exercises. So you're just switching and switching, shifting. Again, you can have your head and neck on the floor if you need that extra support as you build your strength in these exercises. Okay, and let's just do a couple more. Pushing up and release, and push up and release, and one more, push up and just hold here. Let's count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, squeeze the glutes together, 3, 2, 1, and roll it back down. We are winding down almost. We're gonna do the Pilates 100s. So you are in a tabletop position with your legs. Your spine is neutral to the mat. You're gonna either lift your head or leave it on the mat. We're gonna inhale for 4 and exhale for 6, all the way to 100. So I'm gonna count by 10s, but I'll start out telling you the inhale for 4 and exhale for 6, just so you get into the rhythm, and you're gonna pulse your hands to go with it. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ready? Here we go. 20. You can extend or bend the knees, that's 30. 40. 50. 60. 70. Go over that way, guys. 80, 90, and that is 100. And you can release. I've got to get these puppies out of the way. Go, 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 go over that way, you big old shaggy carpets. Push. They love it. So anyway, we're going to go onto our side and we're going to do some side leg lifts. So you're either going to rest on your forearm or come all the way down. Rest on the meaty part of your hip or wherever doesn't feel like it's too difficult for you. Take the top leg and we're going to lower and lift the top leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can go up higher if you're able to. And 5, if you have a belt and you need the belt for assistance, you're just going to pull it to coordinate with this movement. So you're just doing a single basic leg lift. You want to inhale and exhale to coordinate with the movement. All right, and then we're going to flip over and do the other side. Same thing. Down on your hip, either on a forearm position or resting your head on your hand, and just lower and lift this top leg. One leg may be a little more flexible than the other. Inhale. Exhale. And again, I'm mimicking if you have a band or a belt, you're just gonna use that band or belt to lower and lift the leg. And one more. Then we're just gonna roll right onto our belly. Let's do a little baby cobra stretch. So tuck your feet under, you're resting on your forearms, and you're just pressing your forearms into the floor. So you're lifting where you feel this nice stretch in your core and your abs. Now, if your glutes are feeling a little bit sloppy or lazy here, go ahead and pull those glute muscles in. So you're pulling in towards the center of your spine so that you feel them activate. And then you're gonna feel that hold differently, a lot differently. So if you release the glutes, I'm gonna give the visual of pulling your heels together or separating your heels. So you see my feet, you're either pulling the heels to the center or releasing them. That's the relaxed version. The contract version is pulling the heels so you make a center line down your body, activating those muscles. Now we're gonna do a plank, and a plank you can use a prop if you want. So you're either going to use a chair and push your hands up against the chair, and you can lift your feet. So you can come up a little bit higher if you're using a prop or a chair. You can also put your knees to the floor as long as you're not lifting your hips up. So push the hips forward, tuck the toes, see if you can lift up in this position. Otherwise, stay on your knees. It's the exact same thing. There's very little movement here. So push up, or you can take a lower version of this. Hips are gonna push forward, just like what we did. Even if I lifted my knees, you see very little difference in my upper body. So I'm gonna do the high plank position, knees off the floor. Let's hold here. Again, if your heels or your middle body are getting a little slack, pull the heels in and think about activating the heels, the whole center line of the body, even if you need to shift up and down on your feet, just so you feel it differently. Just a few more seconds here. And then bring the knees to the floor. Let's take a little well-earned break here. Let's take a little child's pose. This is where you're gonna catch your breath. You can rest your forehead on the floor. And then carefully bring yourself up. This is gonna be our little bit of a cool down. Let's come back into a forward fold. So basically a spine stretch, bring your feet together, upper body lifts up, and try to reach. So you don't wanna curl the spine, although that's not a bad move to do. That's just not what we're doing today. We're gonna hinge from the hips. So you fold, just like the position says, forward fold, and you try to reach for some part of your leg, even if you're just hanging here at the top, or if you grab a belt or something and you're only like sitting right here, see if you can seesaw your body a little bit and try to get a little bit deeper chewing. I'm gonna forward fold as close as I can to my knees and take a few deep breaths. Good. And then if you want, you can open up the feet and go into your spine stretch, or reach down the center, up and down, however low you can go with your hands. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then bring your feet together. Now we're just gonna sit here and just roll our neck down to the chin, and then lift it up and lean the head back, and then roll it down. Come here, all the puppies. These guys are wild. The minute I turn on the camera, they love it. So we're just rolling the neck up and down, and then rolling forward, and just catching your breath. Just a few of those. So that is your beginner Pilates workout with Be Happy and Healthy with Carmen. That's me. And I've been doing this for a few years. Started out when I had my infant son, and we would do Pilates videos on Instagram. And then I started moving over to YouTube and Facebook just to engage my audience during COVID when everybody was on lockdown. This is a great way for you to get into a fitness routine. If you haven't yet started, start now, start today, be consistent. Do it. It's 10 minutes of your time, 15 minutes of your time, and you'll be glad you did, even if you don't feel like you've broken a sweat. I'm not even sweating at all, but I stay lean, I stay fit, I try to eat well. Sometimes Christmas holidays, I was eating a whole lot of junk food, which most people will do. And so you just get back into a routine, stay consistent, 5-10 minutes a day, build up your strength. And don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, want to see more content, and also subscribe, because that would be great. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.